Hi everyone, welcome to this week's reading from an extract from my book A New Way for Mothers, which I hope benefits you and all of us during this time. I'm also doing a regular Instagram live with it, but I thought I would share it here on the feed anyway. So this part of the chapter is called Connecting with Yourself. It's so easy to lose yourself on the journey of parenthood and in the intensity of caregiving and everything else that goes with it. I remember my mind feeling so full and yet so empty of inspiration. I loved my children so much, but I needed to work out what I loved beyond them in order to be a better, stronger mother who could then treasure my time with them so much more. I don't think this sense of isolation comes from not being around others. I think it comes from a lack of connection with our true selves. This lack of connection with ourselves then leads to connections with others that don't feel authentic, where people don't see or understand the true you. So we need to start with ourselves before others can connect with us. We need to know our true self and bring this into the world. Then any connection, whether online or face-to-face, will feel fulfilling. By connecting with yourself, you start to unlock your values. Your values have always been with you, but they may have been slightly tucked away over time for various reasons. I've always found working in a kind and compassionate way fits well with me, and yet when I entered the workplace, I was told I couldn't be both nice and successful in business. At one of my early jobs in a large PR agency, they told me I would either sink or swim. But I now found myself really aligned with my truest values. They're a core part of who I am. I'd never really thought about my dreams and personal purpose before starting this journey, but now I can see how incredibly important they are in our lives. They guide us, set us free, fill us with joy, and connect us to our others and ourselves. Only when you lose a connection with yourself do you realise quite how important it is. When I first started Beyond the School Run, I found very few people talking about the subject of women and equality, but each time I read an article or saw someone doing something in this area, it took me a step closer to believing in my vision and ultimately myself. I remember when I first tweeted Anne-Marie Slaughter and she responded so positively to Beyond the School Run. You may not be connected with someone face to face, but the connection with their words and thoughts can help you connect with yourself. These connections, whether online, face to face, or just an awareness, are so important in supporting us in connecting with ourselves. I soon started to see an industry emerge with more and more people speaking out and supporting and empowering mothers and parents. What I realised is there's no barriers to us following our dreams. The only thing stopping us is ourselves. The labels we put on ourselves and on others are what stop us. As with everything, we need to start with ourselves without judgment for others. When you start with yourself, the world truly changes around you. When you focus on your own self-growth, you no longer compare and contrast because you understand that we all have our own stories. We all have our own journeys, lived and yet to be lived. When you are kind to yourself, you're kind to others. Start with you and the rest will follow. The more you connect with your true, authentic self, the more you will empower others to do the same. As part of connecting with yourself and your values, I think finding your true voice is really important in supporting your growth and your work. This for me means speaking from an authentic place and not compromising my values. I hope you enjoyed that extract from the book, which is A New Way for Mothers, and is in particular about connecting with yourself. And the chapter goes on and talks about making the connection with others, wherever you might be. In this case, it was at the school gate, or connecting with the working world. I'll be sharing more with you next week from my book, A New Way for Mothers. And I hope that served you well this week. And I'll see you again next week. See you soon.